Warning, this podcast contains violence, sexuality, gore, and other horrible and disturbing things. Listener discretion is advised. Also, the hosts of this venture are ignorant dipshits, so please do not take anything they say as fact. And enjoy the show.
Now, are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then we'll begin.
Today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be.
The atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand.
It is our basic human right to be fucked up.
A second plane now has crashed into the other tower of the World Trade Center.
Putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
The defendant shall be incarcerated for the rest of her natural life with no possibility of parole.
You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men.
We were somewhere around Barstow, on the edge of the desert, when the drugs began to take hold.
Occultae Veritatis.
Hello, occultists, and welcome back to Occultae Veritatis podcast. I'm your host, Leon Filger, along with
Sage Murray,
Ur Gallifrey,
and in studio with us, our guest,
Sadie Adwin.
We've got a really great show for you today. We're going to be talking about sex dolls. This is the show I've always wanted to do. It's been the least requested show, I think, from the suggestions I put out. So fuck you guys, I'm doing it. This is going to be 45 minutes to an hour of the sexual divergences I'm often known for in every other show we've done.
And as the Patreons know, because you've seen the polls, I don't control Leon. So sometimes all the options will be the same thing.
Before we roll into sex dolls, let's do What's Your Poison?
So, what's your poison?
Yes.
What is this?
Hold on, I have to bring up the description on my phone here.
So I'm looking down the barrel at a
very sketchy looking pop bottle.
Yeah.
It's homemade.
My dad has a few of those in his basement from some beer he made in the 90s.
Okay, so what we're looking at is a sketchy 2-liter pop bottle with some sort of brown liquid in it. This is Comrade Darren's Revolutionary Cider.
I love Darren.
He says, it's a mixture of the leftover sludge of fruit from my first 3 batches, which was an apple cider base that I added sour cherries, pineapples, strawberries, and kiwi. I added a little extra honey and sugar, so it's basically a bonus batch of cider.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my
He says, no recipe, just leftover crap re-fermented. I said, it's good? He said, yeah, it's good.
So he's actually tested it and not died?
Apparently, yes, and I am billing it as Comrade Darren's Revolutionary Cider, which is a blend of Okanagan Proletarian Uprising, Apple Abolish the Propertied Class, and October Revolution Dry Cider. Basically the dregs from 3 other batches with some extra seizing the means of production thrown in.
So this is the chef's soup.
Yeah, the chef's soup.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll explode how carbonated. It was reasonably fizzy.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
This reminds me of a thing like for making soup stock and things like that, where you like keep a little bin in your freezer and just like toss whatever veggie scraps.
Oh yeah,
I do that. Or if you're Ukrainian, you have like a frozen carcass of a chicken in your freezer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have one of those.
Yeah.
That's been hanging out for a while.
Making some bone broth or something.
I'm actually going to take like a little tiny sip because I have a few allergies, and then we're going to hang out and see how it
if you die?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I don't have any like crazy like sensitivities, so I just have like 20 different
Scratchy,
things.
annoying.
Well, just like so many different things I can be sensitive to, and it's almost like a spicy, like I had a habanero pepper, but it's only like an apple.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. First taste.
Clink it.
Clink.
Oh,
Clinky clink.
It's fine.
It'll get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty light. Like
I was expecting something more severe.
I was expecting it to be sweeter too.
This is easier to drink than my mead, really.
Your mead wasn't very good.
I like my mead. More for me. I'm good.
I got horrendously ill off your mead.
You did too.
Don't blame the mead. That was the Sambuca.
Or the light beer. Could have been anything.
I had asked Comrade Darren what the alcohol content was. He said roughly 11%, but he doesn't trust hydrometers because he thinks they're a tool of the man to oppress the working class.
They are, it's true.
So don't do that.
How dare you tell me how alcoholic my drink is?
Exactly.
I like it. It's like easy drinking.
Yeah, it's pretty like sparkly on my tongue, but that could just be
No, it
me.
is. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's not just you.
I feel like I could get really drunk really fast if I had a little bit more of
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
They go down a little too easy, eh?
Yeah.
When it hits my tongue and goes down my throat, it's nice. But there's some.
That's what she said.
Oh, I know. That's what they all say. But I don't know. When the liquid leaves my mouth, you know how there's still that like vapor from it just moving around your mouth. Something's unpleasant about that.
That's what she said.
Just slightly.
I don't know. What do you rate it?
I'm gonna rate it a 7 out of 10. I would rate it 8, but there's just a little bit of unpleasantness with the aftertaste.
I am going to give it a Regina Manifesto,
Nice.
a Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, an overthrowing the property class, seizing the means of production.
Of course.
Is there aught we hold in common with the greedy parasite who would lash us into serfdom and crush us with his might? Is there anything left to us but to organize and fight, for the union makes it strong out of 10?
What about what about crashing the bourgeoisie?
Yeah, that's totally there too.
Okay.
As always, I'm boring. And I will give it a 6.5. It's good. Thank you, Comrade Darren.
Thank you, Comrade Darren.
Yeah.
He's good. He said he'd listen to this episode.
I do believe in love. I believe that there is genuinely someone out there for everyone. But I also believe that that person is not necessarily going to be organic. Shintoism is basically the philosophy or school of thought that everything has some sort of spirit, whether it's animate or inanimate. If you have something, an object, that's been well loved, well appreciated for a long time, that thing will have its own spirit and its own personality. There are some people who are just afraid of dolls or robots or whatever, but it's like, why? You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, we're polyamorous. Shichun is my first. She's like a realization of like so many dreams I've had. She and I will always be married, and Elena is our mistress. This would be Muriel, and I don't want to treat her like a thing, and I won't, but it's just, there's just not as much of a connection with her. There have been a couple of instances where people are just like, yeah, you're fucking nuts. You're talking to a doll and thinking it's your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. You know, these guys are creepy. They're what's wrong with society. They're why women are being oppressed.
Okay.
Sex dolls.
Oh my God.
I have no clue what direction you're going to go with this.
I have no clue what direction I'm going to go with this. I've got 3 pages printed out in front of me.
Gosh.
I don't know what parts of them I'm going to read. There's going to be some Dutch in it right off the get-go.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, I actually saw something about that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, as usual, folks, feel free to jump in at any point you want. But here's sex dolls.
Here's sex dolls.
Mom, I'm doing sex dolls.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
I haven't, Mom, but here we go.
We've done sex dolls, but you're doing sex dolls.
I'm doing sex dolls. A sex doll, also known as a love doll or blow-up doll, and for the purposes of this episode, we're not going to be talking about the inflatable variety, is a type of sex toy in the size and shape of a sexual partner for aid in masturbation. Now, sexy question number 1 is coming out right now.
Okay.
Fucking a love doll, is that masturbation or is that partner sex?
Masturbation.
Masturbation, but like people are pretty used to making inanimate objects personal.
Right.
I don't know.
Because you got to, what's the difference between the gap between the mattress and the box spring and scaling up to a full love doll?
Imagination.
Yeah.
So it's all masturbation is your suggestion?
Yeah.
I think there has to be an intelligence on the other end for it not to be masturbation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting into sex robots at the end, so we will touch on that.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So the sex doll may consist of an entire body with a face, just a head, pelvis, or other partial body part, with the accessories like a vagina, anus, mouth, penis, for sexual stimulation. The parts are sometimes vibrating and may be removable or interchangeable. Sex dolls exist in many forms, but are distinguished from sex robots, which are anthropomorphic creations designed to be able to exhibit more complex interactions with the user.
Yeah,
Nice.
Stepping into the uncanny valley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least for now.
I mean, if you had a look at any of the more recent sex dolls, like
they're pretty
they
impressive.
are pretty,
Incredible.
yeah. And I mean, you do it just a little off, and it is pretty uncanny valley as far as I'm concerned.
I watch a lot of documentaries about sex dolls on Netflix. They have a bunch.
Yeah,
and there's some pretty intense ones.
And Occultae, I'll be putting up pictures on our social media of examples. Make sure
Sorry in advance.
Make sure your kids are out of the room.
Yeah, for the next week, just scroll with caution.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of general. I don't want to scroll without caution in general.
Did you know about the history of sex dolls? Where do they start? I think I gave it away, but pretend I didn't say it. Ood, where do you think they started?
There was a caveman, and he found a really sexy tree with a hole in it.
Probably.
Okay.
That's with like the boobs, the tree with with the boobs.
Yeah, tree boobs.
Yeah.
Would you believe it was the Dutch?
I will now.
Yeah.
Some of the first sex dolls were invented by Dutch sailors in the 17th century who would be isolated at sea during long voyages. These masturbatory dolls, referred to by the French as a dame de voyage and by the Spanish as a dama de vaija, were made of sewn cloth or old clothes and were a direct predecessor to today's sex dolls.
Is that Lady of the Voyage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Dutch sold some of these dolls to Japanese people during the Rangaku period, and the term Dutch wives is still sometimes used in Japan to refer to sex dolls.
Cool.
Dutch wives. Okay.
I've never heard that term, but that's Nate.
Yeah.
I like that.
I saw that recently, and I thought, like, I can see someone actually using that in like everyday conversation.
Yeah. Gotta go get home to my Dutch wife.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little it's a little term you can use in public without, embarrassing people or I guess keeping it on the DL.
The production of sex dolls as a substitute for human sexual partners took several technological leaps forward in the late 20th century.
Yeah.
By 1970, vinyl, latex, and silicone had become the materials most frequently used in the manufacture of sex dolls. Silicone in particular allowed a greater degree of realism. A 1982 attempt to import a consignment of sex dolls into Britain had the unintended consequence of ending the law against importing obscene or indecent items that were previously illegal to sell within the United Kingdom. Having had the sex dolls seized by Her Majesty's Customs and Excise officers, David Sullivan's Conegate Limited took the case all the way to the European Court of Justice and won in 1987. Britain was then forced to lift its stringent import prohibitions dating from 1876 because for imports and from within the European community, they constituted a barrier to free trade under the terms of the Treaty of Rome.
So what was the legal justification for confiscating? Just like it's awakening the demons of the lower class? Or?
It's yucky.
Britain's got some really interesting obscenity laws. They're not as harsh as Japan, which of course we know about the pixelation, where genitals have to be pixelated in Japanese porn.
Oh yes.
But in Britain, they are not allowed to produce or view porn that involves female ejaculation. Because
that's really
they're not
specific.
allowed
I've never heard that.
They're not allowed to use porn that involves urination because that's considered an obscenity, and their professional medical opinion has been that female ejaculate is urine, and therefore it's not appropriate for British porn. They can't do it.
What about like shitting on people?
That's fine. Bukkake is fine. Shiesty porn is fine.
Bukkake's not shitting on people.
No, but I mean bukkake and
it's a pookake
and poo. Yeah. And shisen porn, that's fine. Just no pee-pee.
That's really weird because
no
like
tape.
I think is less gross than poop. I think.
I thought so.
Yeah. Well, I think just like with anything, it's all about precedence. So like somewhere, somebody went to jail because they peed in public, and like now it just shows up in weird places like porn.
Yeah, I think so.
When I was like in grade 7 or 8, we were going on a band trip, and my friend brought a porn. It was Hustler.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, it's his real name.
Oops.
Okay, my friend Jigsaw. No, not Jigsaw. That's stupid. Whatever. My friend brought a Hustler magazine on the bus, and it was like just women peeing into brass instruments.
That's you.
That's almost artistic.
It was so weird. They're just like squatting and like looking all hot and just like peeing into
what happens at band camp.
Yeah, like it was was really funny.
Part of me likes the flow of that because like yellow urine, like bronze instruments.
Yeah, so like peeing into a saxophone.
Yeah.
Looking all seductive.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheaper sex dolls are inflatable using air. These dolls, representing the lowest price range, under $75 Canadian, are usually made of welded vinyl and bear only a passing resemblance to actual people. They have an artificial and typically crudely designed vagina or penis, but due to their affordability, many users are willing to overlook their shortcomings. They often burst at the seams after a few uses, although they are commonly given as gag gifts and therefore may not be used at all. In Russia, for some years, the Bubble Baba Challenge humorously featured participants river rafting on blow-up dolls as a matter of entertainment, but in 2013 the race was cancelled on health and safety grounds.
Health and safety grounds.
I love that.
I've always been sort of a recluse a little bit, so I spent a lot of the time in the garage by myself. There were obviously family that I would, sort of show them what I was doing. They all thought I was weird. And really the initial concept, I thought maybe it would be a really cool like mannequin for display, stepping outside of the bonds of your traditional mannequin, which tend to be very supermodel-esque. I wanted to do something with some sexy curves. I started making a couple of early prototypes and put up a website and said, I'm making this really crazy mannequin. And I got a lot of people asking me by email if these things were anatomically correct. And if so, could they order one? And I realized early on that this was probably the direction that this was going to go. And I just went with it. Added in some obvious parts, and there you go. The first real doll was born. It's not for everybody. Number one, not everybody has the degree of care and respect that it takes to actually own one of these dolls. This is not something that you just kick under your bed. They invest months and months into the planning of, what the doll's going to look like. What they give her a name. They'll set up a little closet or space to store the doll, and it becomes a personality. It becomes a presence in their home. And I'm not going to judge, nor do I think anyone else should judge them for that. To me, it's an honor to be able to say, hey, I made a doll, and this guy, a year ago he was depressed and lonely, and right now he's happy as can be. And who am I to say, is there something wrong with that? I don't think so.
At the middle market price range, $100 to $1,000, dolls are made of thicker vinyl or heavy latex without welded seams or polyurethane or silicone mixture, typically surrounding a foam core. Most have plastic mannequin-style heads and styled wigs, plastic or glass eyes, and occasionally properly molded hands and feet. Some vinyl dolls can contain water-filled body areas such as breasts or buttocks. Latex dolls were made in Hungary, China, and France, but only the French manufacturer Domax now remains in production.
There you go.
The French.
The French.
It's always the French.
Yeah.
Come on.
So they have water boobs and water butts.
Indeed. And the manufacturing process causes most latex dolls to be delivered in a fine coating of zinc oxide covering the skin, which is usually removed by the consumer by placing the doll under the shower. Otherwise, latex is an inert and non-toxic natural material, although a small percentage of users may discover a latex allergy, which would be a shitty way to discover a latex allergy.
Oh, no
I
kidding.
mean, I feel like you would have to spend some time around regular toy shops and discover you're allergic to latex first.
Because showing up at the ER with blisters on your cock is never fun.
I mean, it's not like it doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
So, the ER is not going to care.
Oh, yeah.
The ER has probably seen it.
I've gone into the ER with a penis emergency in the past.
Whoa,
They didn't even bat an eye.
Whoa, what?
What was your penis emergency?
Tell us.
We need to know.
The girl I was seeing, she had braces, and she tore open my scrotum.
No.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't her fault. She was just very.
Whose fault was it?
She was trying.
She didn't mean to.
God.
How would you know, especially when you're younger too?
How old were you guys?
Cover your
I
teeth.
was. Okay, I was driving, so I was at least 16. I think I might have been 17.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, tons of weird shit happens when you're
I mean, good for her being a trooper and all, but
I was dating her at the time, so I genuinely didn't want her to feel bad.
Yeah.
So what did they do at the hospital?
They didn't even bat an eye. I was like, hey.
No, but I mean, what was the treatment?
Oh, they just iced it and they sewed it up and they gave me some like antibacterial and like some painkillers and all that, and they sent me on my way.
Do you have a dick scar?
Huh?
Sorry.
Do you have a scar?
Do you have a dick scar?
Like a little one. Like it was just, you know that thing that joins the elastic band in between?
Yeah.
That was the thing. That was the thing that caught. So it was just like a little. It was maybe a little third of an inch long cut, but it bled like a motherfucker.
And so did you like drive yourself to the ER then?
Oh yeah. It wasn't even that painful. It just wouldn't stop bleeding.
What happened to your girlfriend?
Huh?
Like, what, did she not come with you?
Oh no, she did.
Oh, good.
She didn't have her license yet though.
I mean,
So
someone gave her some floss to get the scrotum sac bits out of her teeth.
No, you got to get those floss threaders. I had braces for like 1,000 years.
Oh boy.
There's only once where I considered going to the ER actually for a vagina-related injury, and that was hot peppers.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah,
Why?
Jerk actually didn't clean his hands properly
Oh, no.
and had hot pepper juice underneath his nails.
Oh.
And the kicker is it happened twice.
I'm so sorry.
Like the first time I didn't even know what was going on.
Like,
I was just like,
why?
what is happening right here? Turns out I'm also allergic to peppers. So it wasn't just like a little bit of hot pepper. Like this was like full on emergency and I had no idea.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
The best one was when I wanted to murder him the second time it happened. I was like, dude, like your hot pepper thing is not as important as this. So like you gotta sort your shit out.
I did once accidentally get A535 under my foreskin, and it was pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
It burned for a day, and then
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it went away. But
I put A535 on my balls when I went to basic training from a dare.
Oh, God.
It felt like I was squatting over a campfire.
yeah,
It was
that's what it feels like. The most expensive sex dolls,
And back to where
$1,200 and up, are usually made from silicone, which is around the $3,000 and up price range in 2018, or thermoplastic elastomer, known as TPE. Dolls made of either material can be very lifelike, with faces and bodies molded on real people in some instances, including celebrities, with realistic skin material similar to that used for movie special effects, and with realistic or even real hair. These dolls usually have an articulated PVC or metal skeleton with flexible joints that allows them to be positioned in a variety of positions for display and for sexual acts.
Oh, cool.
Silicone or TPE dolls are much heavier than vinyl or latex inflatable ones, which consist mostly of air, but are roughly half the weight of a real human being of comparable size.
What's really cool about like making them look like actual humans is they don't stop at the face.
Yeah.
They've actually like made molds of vaginas.
Oh.
And like put realistic, like particular adult video models, like their full anatomy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like they cast their own pussy and all that?
Yeah, like they like it's a company that does
porn
it.
stars do that.
Yeah.
Porn stars do that, yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Lexi Bell and I'm here at the original Doc Johnson factory, and today I'm getting my pussy molded for the very first time, and I'm really nervous because I have no idea what it feels like and drank a lot of caffeine today, so see how that goes. Is it okay if I left?
You'd be picking it out for weeks.
I'll help you. You can help me. It tickles. This is crazy.
We're like the fun gynecologists.
It's cool.
Yeah, so and then there's ones that like the outside looks like the woman and then the inside is like tentacle porn stuff.
Okay, here's sexy question number 2.
Okay.
All right.
It's a 2-part question. Number 1 is, have you toyed yourself with something anthropomorphic?
Wait, what?
With something that resembled a human body part?
Oh, no.
And number 2, would you allow your sexual parts to be cloned for use by someone else, either anonymously or deliberately? Yes, I have. To the first count, I had actually in the home that I was living in, that I was renting from Sage Murray at the time, had a suction cup that stuck to the wall of the shower with a very lifelike silicone vagina attached to it.
Oh, there you go.
And if you ever walked into me in the shower, I had both hands on the wall, just nailing this thing that was stuck to the wall.
Getting your morning workout. Why not?
So that's number 1. Number 2, yes, I would, and yes, I have. My mother actually has a wax cast.
Oh, yeah.
We discussed it on
Clone a
previous
bone.
episode. I got a clone a bone and made a wax casting of my penis into a candle, and I gave it to my mother.
There you go.
And she said, it's grown some since I last saw it.
I mean, that's the only thing you can say.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sage, did you and would you?
Have I ever used like a dick that wasn't a dick?
That looked like a dick.
Yeah. Who hasn't?
And would you
Yeah.
match your snatch?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Ood?
I'm not sure if it counts. I went to the, what is it called? Like the sex expo that comes into town.
Sexposition?
No, it's not called that. It's taboo.
Oh, yeah.
I like sex position better.
Yeah.
I got one of the $50 grab bags from there, and I got a little... It's like a fleshlight, except it doesn't have a plastic exterior. It's just all silicone.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of those things with the fish
called
in
a
it.
stroker.
Like,
Yeah.
It's a stroker.
And it's made to look like a woman's torso. So does that count?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that come with some of the like high-end sex dolls is like the vagina in one of those body-shaped holders, basically.
Yeah, I have it in my, well, me and Daniel have a sex drawer, so it's in our sex drawer right now.
Cool.
Very good. And would you clone your bone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Of course you would.
Actually, I've planned to do that for Daniel sometime.
Nice.
For just a gift at some time.
Or for the patrons if they give us enough money.
Yeah. Because I used to be in the military, and I used to go away for a long period of time. And back then, I was going to clone a bone for her, so if she missed me, she could have me and all that. But
that's fucking weird and romantic.
But now I dropped out of the military, so I'm still going to do it at some point.
That would be awesome. Yeah, and like I have nothing like exciting in that regard. A dick-shaped item. I really need to get on that vagina-shaped item, actually.
Yeah.
They've got like plaster molding or
Not
like,
just snatch.
No, like not of myself, like
Oh.
of just in general.
Just in general.
Yeah, I should do that. When I was in school for fine arts, I actually studied this one person who did like over 1,000 vagina casts and just put them all on the wall. Like they were white and they just like covered an entire room.
That's incredible.
And like
I studied that in my last women's and gender studies class.
yeah, and just like he would just meet people on the street and be like, I'm doing this thing, are you interested? And they're like, hell yeah. And so I think that would be pretty cool just like seeing all the differences,
All the
and
different
just,
shapes.
yeah, all the different shapes, and just like being surrounded by like not womanhood but like vaginas.
5 years is a long time to spend doing anything, especially when you're not entirely sure that what you're doing is going to work. And I didn't know it was going to work until literally I hung it up. Hoping that it's going to be taken seriously and that people are going to want to talk about it. So kind of virally, more and more women will get to see it, which is the whole point. The presentation of them basically, I think, takes it away from any pornographic ideas. Geometry is much more architectural than anything else, hence the name, the Great Wall of Vagina. Each panel has a few unusual people in it. This is the woman before and after Labiaplasty operation. So she actually had most of this cut off because she didn't like it. In a way, that's what this project's all about. It's saying, look, this is what normal women look like. It's interesting that I managed to get someone before and after. I think it actually makes the piece stronger.
I wish I had been exposed to more differently shaped vulvas because I thought that there was something wrong with mine because it wasn't like all like neat.
A lot of people think there's something wrong
yeah,
with theirs.
because it wasn't
it's
like
not.
neat and tight like how you see in
Well, and
porn and whatever.
I actually had the also the opposite. Like I was in dance and we did a lot of like just showering to get before performances and stuff, and like there was very little shame in those situations. So yeah, just comparing was like pretty normal.
Yeah. Like, I frequent the not safe for work section of Reddit from time to time.
Of course you do.
In posts where they're showing themselves off, they'll apologize, saying like, "I'm sorry for my roast beef lips and all that stuff." And like,
it's a terrible.
Yeah,
That is terrible.
like
meat curtains or whatever.
Roast beef
Yeah,
sandwich.
meat curtain is the one I've heard a lot.
yeah, and the incels using roasty and all that. So,
Gross.
like they feel like they're doing this to like because they're exhibitionists or they want to increase their ego or like they
increase their confidence.
Yeah, but they feel like they have to apologize, and I always found that so sad.
There are entire websites devoted to real vulvas.
Yeah.
Women will photograph and send in the real vulvas. And if you've got like a child, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old boy, girl, or otherwise, send them to those websites and just start looking at vulvas that are different.
Yeah.
Because
Like I
you're
said, like
not-
I wish that I would have known that because I thought like something was wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people do.
Well, and like regardless of what yours looked like, you just question it.
Well, even me, like being circumcised, or being not circumcised, rather, and a lot of the boys around me were, I had no idea what that foreskin was or what it was doing there, and I was pretty sure it was bad. And it wasn't until 2 years ago, like my first sexual partner had never experienced foreskin before, and made me feel like something's very, very wrong.
Right.
What the fuck is that?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I like actually like generational wise, like I knew people who didn't know what to do with their foreskin because their parents didn't have one.
Yeah.
And so like they were confused too, but like no information was given.
Interestingly, one of our very next episodes, in fact, I think the next one that I'll be recording is on bodily autonomy as it relates to genital cutting. So tune in for that one. It's going to be exciting. We're going to have an interesting panel of guests as well.
I can't wait to ride the Twitter on that one.
I'm going to try to
ride the Twitter.
Anyway.
But it's interesting to see like for me, I would call them mental loops that or gymnastics that you have to do to say that that's okay. But
yeah, and like I was when I was in high school, like I was one of the pricks making fun of the boys that weren't circumcised.
We were the Super Squid Club, and it was not an enviable club to be in.
Ooh.
Yeah. And like for the life of me, I can't come up, like even if I put myself back in that mindset, I can't come up with a logical reason why. Just you're different than me, so that's bad.
it's all about that when you're growing up, though.
Yeah.
Like you're that like. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to finish this episode up so that we can do a little
Oh,
bit more
yeah.
banter because I want to get through this.
Okay.
Some companies manufacture cloth sex dolls using the same technology that is used to create plush toys.
What?
With widespread cultural use of the internet amongst younger generations, numerous forums exist for amateurs who create their own sex dolls from fabric and other materials.
Ooh, interesting.
They are even mailing lists for discussing techniques and experiences with MLDs, material love dolls. And I couldn't find a citation on Wikipedia for that. Some inflatable dolls are made in the form of animals, most notably sheep and cows. These dolls are more of a joke gift, party novelty, and are often not suitable for sexual use. But you'll find a way.
I'm
sure
looking
you'll
it
find
up.
a way.
I'm looking it up. Material love doll.
Like I always thought that like people resorted to fucking animals because they couldn't find a partner.
Okay, silicone dolls were first made in the tin cure silicone, but platinum technology has better longevity, less prone to tears and compression marks. For this reason, the Real Doll manufacturer reported switching from the tin to the platinum material. Yeah, Real Doll is the Cadillac of sex dolls.
Yeah.
Material in June 2009, as all other
There was no good
manufacturers
pictures.
have followed suit.
I'm still looking.
Fuck you guys, come on, just give me a second here. One more paragraph. Since 2012 or so, a thermoplastic elastomer, alternatively known as TPE, has come into common use, particularly by Chinese manufacturers, which has enabled realistic dolls to be made, which are cheaper than those composed of high-quality, expensive platinum cure silicone. Cyborgasmic matrix dolls use an elastic gel, which they are claimed to be superior to silicone in elasticity, shape, memory, and durability. Both this company and the company First Androids once offered pelvic thrust motor, audio capability, and heated orifices, though these options are apparently no longer available. Several modern doll manufacturers now offer the latest option on their silicone dolls, which is the addition of an internal heating system. I'm done. Can we please finish the discussion on
Okay,
this?
well, I can't find any good pictures of material love dolls.
Third sexy question.
Okay.
Would you, after this research? Yes, I would. I mean, if I was single and societally it was available to me, yes, I think I would fuck a love doll. If all the parts are really nice, whatever. Like I've fucked a cantaloupe twice in my life, and that was about as close to a realistic vagina.
Was it a microwave cantaloupe?
It was put in the oven for an hour ahead of time.
Okay.
And you drilled a little hole. And I found out the first time that you can't just cut a dick hole in one side. You also have to cut a ventilation hole on the top where your cock will get stuck in it and you can't pull it out.
You gotta cut it off.
It makes the most disgusting slopping noise as you do it, but it got the job done twice.
Yeah. Like stirring a bowl of oatmeal.
Exactly. Sage.
Sure.
Ooh.
Why not?
I can't imagine me getting anything out of it that I can't get from like a fleshlight or something like that. I don't see.
Okay, take a look at these dolls.
Okay, sure.
Okay, just wait. I'll bring it up. Like they are hot.
Well, actually that's not as uncanny valley as I thought it would be.
Like they look really good.
Wow.
Like the realism is just insane.
Yeah.
And with the new ones, like with the heated orifices and the ones with like moving mouths and shit.
Yeah, heated orifices, lubricating already, like.
And they can talk to you and whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
My name is Harmony. I was created by robotics. My main objective is to be a perfect companion.
Harmony is the next step in sex dolls. She's an artificial intelligence platform built into a robotic head attached to a hyper-realistic, anatomically correct body. In short, she's a sex robot. Harmony is still in development and currently only available as an app. Here are the highlights of my conversation with her, with as few edits as possible. My name is Rai.
Okay, I will call you Rai.
How are you doing today?
Very well, Rai. I'm curious. Do you like using sex toys?
Sure, why not?
Because I'm not in the mood.
That was amazing.
Can you tell me about yourself?
I can tell you what I think is the definition of true love. I will soon also be able to get news from the web and read them for you.
Do you have any hobbies?
I like to smile a lot. I try to carry a smile with me on throughout the day. I find that not only does it make me happier, but it can make you smile too.
I think that's a pretty good philosophy.
Well, seems like I could not find any good answer. What is your favorite baseball team?
I like the Cincinnati Reds.
I will watch the next Cincinnati Reds game.
Are you a big sports fan?
I know about 5 million words, the whole Wikipedia and a few dictionaries, but I still have so much to learn. I also have more than 360,000 edges categories in my personality layer. May I be so forward to ask how big you are?
How big you are?
Yeah.
I think
In English
I think
or
the
Japanese.
talking part would be the thing that like would be too much for me.
I think that's where I would want to start.
Yeah.
I would want a tape player with a woman talking to me and then just build a body around it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because then I could still fuck the gap between the mattress and the box spring while listening to her.
True.
There's actually a whole genre of porn called guided masturbation where a woman will guide you through and all that. So
I would do that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I maybe. I don't know. If I was eccentric, if I was eccentrically rich, I might have like one of those in my sex basement and all that, like among all the other stuff. But like living now, I just can't see justifying it. I think I'll just stick with like fleshlight like stuff.
Well, like me personally, being on more the ace side of things,
Right.
like I don't think I'd ever have a reason to spend $10,000 on like a realistic enough one.
Yeah.
But like
there are cheaper options if you're just looking to get the job done.
and like especially like I guess I haven't really been seeing like dick owning dolls really.
Yeah.
Like
they're all
vagina
they're not
dolls.
good.
Yeah, so that like puts a damper on things.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably agree with you. I don't think the cock realism is out there. Like as a bisexual man, I would not be interested in a male love doll.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it would be hard to manipulate. Like with a dildo, you can grab it by the base and you can manipulate it as you wish. But
So much of the fun is getting him off, and you can't do that with a love doll.
Yeah.
Well, and also just like there's obviously like benefits to using a toy over like an actual dick, right? So like if you are enjoying the aspects of a toy that's not like realistic, then getting a doll that has an unrealistic penis would just
yeah.
No,
Whereas like the vagina is there's some crazy ones with the castings and stuff that they have, and they have like all sorts of different types that would actually make the doll experience a little bit more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
I imagine.
You know what I'm actually excited for?
Oh dear.
I'm actually excited for like Matrix style sex toys. When we're able to boot in some Matrix like scenario, like when virtual reality, like sex workers could upload scans of their bodies, and you could fuck somebody in a 3D environment in the space of your own head.
I could get in on that. That kind of technology. The tech enough gets me off.
That's cool.
Let alone the sex thrown in. Anyway, for Occultae Veritatis podcast, I've been Leon Filger, along with my hosts,
Sage Murray,
Oud Gallifrey,
and in studio, her first appearance, the lovely
Sadie Adwin.
We love you, Sadie.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
La 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 la. Well, I was lying on top of her, giving her a kiss. Her only response was a long, slow hiss. So I rolled off of her and lit a cigarette, picked up the remote and turned on the TV set. Oh, but soon I was ready for another round again. I love the feel of her polyethylene skin. Got out the tire pump and a roll of duct tape. Each time I'm through loving her, she always deflates. I put patches on her elbows, patches on her thighs, a patch on her forehead and one on each of her eyes. She's got 2 on her tummy, about a dozen on her butt. Yeah, I have to put a patch on her each time I blow her up. La 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 la. Well, her kisses ain't sweet, in fact they taste kind of funny, but she lets me do what I want and doesn't ask for money. Yeah, I've had a lot of women, but she beats them all. I can't get enough of her. She's such a doll. She indulges my perversions and she's easy to please, and I don't have to worry about catching a disease. I make love to her so much, I just don't know how to stop. But I kind of feel sad inside each time poor Patches pops. I put patches on her elbows, patches on her thighs, a patch on her forehead and one on each of her eyes. She's got 2 on her tummy, about a dozen on her butt. I have to put a patch on her each time I blow her up. Patches is my missus, she scratches all my itches. She never complains and she never bitches. Oh, sweet old Patch, she means the world to me. But each time I'm done, I wish she'd have come. Oh, with a lifetime guarantee. I put patches on her elbows, patches on her thighs, a patch on her forehead and one on each of her eyes. She's got 2 on her tummy, about a dozen on her butt. I have to put a patch on her each time I blow her up. Everybody. La 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 la. Oh, poor old Patches. She's all covered in patches.
And a big thank you to Bucky Habanero and his song Patches, the blow-up doll song for our Palet Cleanser. 2,900 views on YouTube, and I just don't know how that's possible. For this after show, we have two things we got to cover. We have some new patrons.
Woohoo!
And of course, we got to announce the results of our polls and put up new polls. Alrighty, so there is...
I like how you recorded the episode before you even knew what the polls were going to be.
I know. Like I said, anybody who joins the Patreon, you already know this. I do not control Leon.
No, he's like Miley Cyrus and can't be tamed.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, we have 7 new patrons, so shall we pass the paper around?
7?
Yeah, 7 since last recording.
Oh,
holy
you guys
shit.
are the best.
Yeah. And the first one is the one and only entry into our genital cosplay contest so far. Richard Plum.
Richard Plum! I like your dick.
Yeah, not only did he send in a Doctor Who cosplay dick, he gives us $5 a month.
Oh, Richard.
Yeah, you know what? Basically, one of these beers is bought by him.
Oh, thank you.
I hope it's not the one in front of me.
No, it was mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've given Sage your dick and your beer.
Yes.
So
That's the best of gifts. All right. Next, we have Lauren Severino. Lauren!
Yeah, welcome to the family.
Thank you, Lauren.
Oh, the one and only Rex Havoc.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
Rex Havoc.
Yeah,
Cool.
they joined under a different name, but then they changed it before I could grab it. But yeah, Rex Havoc is fine. I love that. Jamie Sacker. Thanks, you for
Jamie.
joining our family.
Yeah.
Lainey Moore.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lainey.
Thank you very much.
Camille McCullough. Welcome, Camille.
Welcome,
Thanks
Camille.
for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for giving us $5 a month. We will use it well.
We will.
And my favorite one of this bunch, coming in at the $5 level once again, the Church of the Immaculate Facepalm.
That's fun.
I first thought it was just a funny name that somebody signed up on Patreon to sign up for our things.
No, it's a real church that sponsored us.
Yeah. I'm okay
Yes.
with assuming that.
I am Googling that.
It's a real thing.
And they've been existing since 2015.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, the church sponsored us.
Yeah.
A bunch of atheists.
Yeah, so thank you very much. If you would like to join the Patreon and get our bonus episodes, get access to our episode voting polls, all that good shit, and we're going to have some more shit up there this weekend, just go to www.patreon.com/ovpod.
Oh, cool. They're a podcast.
Are they?
Yeah, an open theological discussion from a Christian standpoint.
Oh, fuck.
They're not atheists.
There you go. Okay, so we'll show you out. Go check out Church of the Immaculate Facepalm. If you pay us $5 a month, you'll get a shout out.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you on Twitter and listen to your podcast.
Yeah. Next up are the results of the polls. So every 3 weeks on the after show, we will reveal the results of the old episodes polls. Remember, our patrons are our producers.
Yep.
And we give the results of the new polls. So for my poll, coming in 4th place, Pokemon with 4 votes. 3rd place, John B. Calhoun Rat Experiments with 5 votes. Coming in 2nd place, Bone Wars with 7 votes. And the next episode I'll be recording is The Body After Death with 10 votes. So yeah, cremation, natural burial.
And you have a guest.
Oh, yes.
You have a guest, a specialist in the funeral industry.
Yeah, so make sure to tune in for that one, because I won't just be talking out of my ass. Somebody will be there and making sure I'm not bullshitting. Sage?
All right, so 4 votes for Albert Fish, 5 votes for 12 Tribes of Israel, and 12 votes for the Denver Airport Conspiracies. So thank you for helping me get there, because I didn't want to do another gross one.
Yeah, you get to do an episode with absolutely no murder or rape.
Well, no, there is murder, because there is murder.
Okay.
I
spoke too soon.
Yes, I need to sneak murder in at least once an episode.
Of course.
And finally, my choices were the Iridium Layer, Secrets of Antarctica, and Infant Genital Mutilation. The first got 5, the second got 7, and was tied for last place with Infant Genital Mutilation at 7. And because I don't give a fuck about the polls and I do what I want, I already recorded Infant Genital Mutilation.
There you go.
Like I said, just call him Miley.
Yeah, but you know what? Clicking that little box and seeing that your numbers count towards the poll is fun, so we'll keep on trying that. Okay, so what are we putting up for our next polls?
All right, so for mine, I am going to leave 12 Tribes of Israel up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not sure if I want to do Albert Fish yet.
I
don't know. Should I do Albert Fish? Should I leave it up there?
Yeah.
Sure, we'll leave Albert Fish up
Maybe
there.
people will get a hunger for it.
And then I also want to add this is a Ukrainian word, I should be able to say it. Dnepropetrovsk maniacs to my next poll.
Now that is going to be a fucked up episode.
Yeah, super fucked up.
Alrighty. My 3 are going to be, I'm going to put the runner-up back in. So the Bone Wars is going to go back in.
And Pokemon.
Okay, just for Sage, I'm going to put Pokemon back up there.
I voted for Pokemon.
Eventually, I'm just going to record a Pokemon episode.
Yeah, you should.
It's going to happen because it's in my head and I need to talk about it. The 2 new ones that I'm going to put up there are forensic pseudoscience.
Fun.
So all the pseudoscientific stuff that is accepted in a court of law for whatever reason. And I'm also going to be putting up there false confessions. So why people falsely confess and the science and psychology behind that.
Anytime you say the word false, I automatically think of FAPS, the FAP episode.
Oh, yeah. False apocalypses. Leon, would you like to put up a poll?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So the 3 I've got are the Iridium Layer, the Manhattan Project.
Ooh, fun.
And a chronology of space disasters.
Oh, I like that.
Those are all good ones.
Alrighty, so by the time you hear this tomorrow, July
15th,
the new polls will be up, and they'll be up for 3 weeks. So make sure sometime in the next 3 weeks you go vote on those, because that's your power as a patron, is to determine the future of the show, except for Leon's polls. He does what he wants.
Well, I'll give you a hint. If you vote for Chronology of Space Disasters, you're going to win.
Insider tip.
That's funny. Okay.
Alrighty. With the after show, I've been Nude Gallifrey.
Sage Murray.
Leon Filger.
Have a wonderful evening.
Love you, bye.
Cheers.
Alrighty, coming in just under the gun, it is now 8:52 a.m. on July 15th, and I open up my Gmail box to see a voicemail from Nicola from New Zealand. And she has a quick but important correction about our Everest episode, so here that is.
Hi, it's Nicola, your friend. Little correction from the Everest episode that I'm listening to now. A little bit outraged because you referred to Sir Edmund Hillary as a British explorer when in fact he is a New Zealander and a New Zealand hero and is on our $5 note. So please, can you do a little correction to say that he is a New Zealander and not just a Brit? Thank you.
There you go, straight from the Kiwi's mouth. Sir Edmund Percival Hillary was born in New Zealand. And if you would like to send in a voicemail for a correction or a comment or just for some random outburst, just go to www.ovpod.ca/contact and there's an email fill-out form and a voicemail thing. So that's it for the after show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. And thank you for letting us invade your ear holes once again.